Welcome to Hanif Bismi show. We're starting a new program introducing to different religion in Australia. First of all, we're starting about Judaism. So let's go to their place of worship and meet their spiritual leader. Please come with me. What I have just done is the prerequisite for entering to a synagogue. Washing your hand means cleaning yourself physically. So then only you can enter the place of worship. Now we are inside the synagogue. This is a place of worship and this hall where this place for gents and this place is for ladies. There is a partition between them with a curtain, and this is the main place where the Torah is kept and read. And this is a place where the priest going to talk, deliver a speech. Now let Rabbi Zalman explain furthermore about the center and the religious aspect. Thank you.
Yeah, well, welcome, Hanif, and to your viewers. So this is the place where I pray. Now, there are different houses of worship, different communities. In an Orthodox community, the men and the women pray separately. In the progressive communities, the men and women sit together. Now, as you said, this is where the Torah is read, and on the holy day of the week, on the Shabbat or Saturday, we'll have 8 people who are called up to be standing there for one section of the Torah reading. The process for the Torah reading begins with the opening of this curtain here. So the curtain will be opened. There it is. The curtain will be opened, and special prayers are recited when this is open. These are Torah scrolls. These scrolls are handwritten by a qualified scribe. So each of these would be written with ink and quill by a person writing each word down. It takes about a year to complete. Inside of these coats are the scrolls, and that is the first 5 books of the Torah. And on Saturday, on Monday and Thursday, these scrolls are taken out to be read before the community.
It's all written in Hebrew language.
All of the Torah is written in Hebrew. There are just several words that are in Aramaic, but the vast majority of the Torah is written in Hebrew. In terms of our prayers, again, mostly in Hebrew, but some also in Aramaic. Yes, so the greeting is Shalom Aleichem, which is peace unto you. And in fact, the response to Shalom Aleichem is Aleichem Shalom. So it's reversed, of course, and we know that many others do that.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So this is the where the Torah is kept. I'll just demonstrate for you also the morning prayers. I'll hand this back to Hanif.
So morning prayers.
So this is morning prayers. At the beginning of the prayers, we wrap ourselves with a special prayer garment. On the corners of the garment are strings that remind us about the 613 commandments of the Torah.
So this is how you dress
This
up
is the
for
preparation at the beginning of the prayer, and then this is put to the side. And this garment is worn by men, not by women, in Orthodox prayer. So this is what we wear for the prayers also on all holy days, on weekdays, from Sunday to Thursday. We also will have other prayer objects, which I will demonstrate to you now. So this prayer garment is called the tallis.
So everybody who comes for prayer, they will wear the same thing?
Yes, some people wear smaller ones, different customs, but yes, this would be something that the men would wear during prayer. In the morning, and that's also in the morning. But on days other than holy days, so Sunday to Friday, the morning prayers also begins with reminders about God that we wear on our arm and on our head. This is called tefillin. Now, this prayer box is made out of leather. Inside of this prayer box is a scroll with passages from the Torah, also handwritten by a scribe, and this is put on the arm, and we bind it to our arm near our heart to indicate to ourselves that we want God to, the messages that in this passage, in the scroll, should be in our heart. We begin with the prayer, thanking God for this commandment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu lehaniach tefillin. We then make the letter Shin, which is the first letter of one of God's names. And we wrap 7 times here to represent the 7 different types of emotions that we can have. We can have love or fear. And these emotions, if they are correct according to what the scroll in here, then we are worshiping God properly. We also will put the prayer boxes on our head. In this case, there are 4 separate little boxes within the box. Each one contains a tiny little scroll inside. And again, the letter Shin can be seen on there. Interestingly, the knot that goes on the head, the knot that's on the right side of the head is swapped inside the knot at the back to go to the left side of the body, because we know that the right side of the brain controls the left side of the body, and we want the messages from here that we're in our thoughts to come into the body and the way we live our lives. So these are the prayer objects that Jewish men will wear every day except on the holy day.
And this every individual has to bring inside, or you supply for the people who come for prayer?
Usually people would bring their own. So these again are quite expensive because the scrolls inside are handwritten with the proper intentions, and the leather work also is not done by machine; it's also done by hand.
So it's a bit very closer to the heart, and personal touches there.
Absolutely, that's right. It's not mechanical. It's meant to be done with intention from the heart.
So it's each individual one is made with the hand with perfection.
Absolutely, with intention, and that's true for these prayer boxes, and also for these strings. That these are hand spun. So they take the wool, and an old-fashioned process, spinning process. That's all powered by human power. It's not electricity.
Not electricity, not machine.
They have sort of what you might call a primitive machine. They have some tools, but it's all by human power.
Keeping the tradition of the ages-old tradition.
Keeping the traditions, and also keeping the intention, the heart, as you say, Hanif. That it's not a machine cannot have any emotion. It cannot have any thoughts.
Close to individual.
Absolutely, it brings the individual in. Yes, so these are some of the prayer garments. When we remove this, we'll use our left hand to take it off, because the left represents the weaker hand, and it's showing reluctance, that we don't want to take off the holy object from our head. And in fact, in earlier times, when we believe people were pure of thought and had more control of their thoughts, people would wear these prayer objects the whole day. And so that this would be a reminder about God the whole day. However, because it's such a holy object, we don't want someone to be wearing this while they're thinking about ordinary things. So
you have to be fully concentrated, fully connected to the God Almighty.
Exactly. And when one is wearing this scroll on your body, it would be considered disrespectful to be thinking about something else. So we wear this only...
It's a kind of purification as well.
Yes, I think that's right. I think a purification of thoughts, of
purification of the soul.
Yes, purification of the soul and support for the soul, because in our teachings we have the idea that our soul is pure from God, but it comes into a body, and the body has different agendas.
Yeah, of course, body has its own agendas and feelings, so only soul can control. So that is why it's important that it's soul control the body, not the other way around.
That's right. So this is considered a support for the soul in its battle with the body. That sometimes the soul and the body pull together and they're at peace with each other, but sometimes they're in a battle, and this helps the soul in that battle.
It's an enabler for the spirituality to maintain throughout the prayer.
Absolutely, that's right. This enables the spirituality. It supports a Jewish man in the quest for spiritual practice and being tuned into God.
So, ladies and gents, this Rabbi Zalman explained what the importance of purification of soul in the religion of Judaism, and they got lots of personal equipment, personal tools to maintain the spirituality throughout the prayer. Then after the prayer, they can continue to maintain the spiritual level of soul, and soul control the body, and not for the worldly things should be inspired rather than the soul and connected to God is control their body and their worldly affairs. That's what I understand.
Yes, I think, Hanif, that's a good way of summing it up.
Thank you very much. Rabbi Zalman, could you explain all these things, please?
Yeah, so I just thought we wouldn't carry the Torah, because today is not a Monday or a Thursday or a Saturday. We won't take the actual Torah scroll out. However, I did want to show your viewers one of the other scrolls. This is a scroll that is for the Purim festival, from a story that happened in Persia. About a king who was very intolerant, who wanted to kill people because their beliefs were different. And this scroll is called the Megillah, and the Megillah is read on one of our celebrations on a day called Purim. I'll read a little bit of it for you, and this is something that is done in the community here, and that when there's a wicked person, his name is said, and he was the advisor to the king who encouraged the king to commit genocide. When his name is called out, all the people in the community make a lot of noise to show disapproval of this individual. And we don't have the community here today, but I will read a little bit of this for your viewers. Vayehi b'yemei Achashverosh hu Achashverosh hamelech mehodu v'yad kush sheva v'esrimu meya medino bayomim hohem kisheves hamelech Achashverosh al kisei malchusoi asher b'shushan habiro.
Thank you very much. And what is this 12 things they embroidered this on the surface.
Yeah, so this is a beautiful design, and this is not in every synagogue. This is a unique design here. This is the names of the 12 tribes of Jacob, or Yaakov in Hebrew, that he had 12 children, Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, and so on. And in the ancient times, there were 12 diamonds on the chest of the high priest, and he would wear these with reminders of the 12 tribes of the Jewish people that were descended from Jacob.
So these 12 is 12 sons of Jacob.
Correct. These are 12 sons of Jacob, but later over history, the 12 sons of Jacob became tribes and communities.
That's why they got 12 tribes.
That's-
And which one is the last one?
So Benjamin is the last one.
Benjamin.
Or Binyamin in Hebrew, and he's the youngest. We actually also, the Jewish tradition is that 10 of these tribes were exiled and lost, and will only come back in the time of the...
And Joseph?
Yes, this is Yosef here. So he's one of the younger ones of the tribe. So Yosef and Binyamin are the two sons of Rachel. And of course, Yosef is well known as his stories.
Joseph is common in both
Yes.
Torah and Bible and Quran. And now only these two tribes are...
Well, these two and a little bit of the tribe of Levi.
Okay.
So these all have been banished, and sometimes people go to look for some of these tribes. Perhaps they're in India. Some people have suggested that the Pashtun in Afghanistan
I heard about that. Yeah.
are one of the lost tribes. So we don't know where they all went.
So in this table itself, we can see the three great religion unifying, Jacob and his children, which is mentioned in the three holy books.
Yes, I should say though that actually the tribes that we have today are Levi, Yehuda, and Binyamin. The tribe of Joseph is lost as well. So, but Binyamin, who's had the same father and mother as Joseph, because Jacob had 4 wives, Binyamin remained, and Judah, and some of Levi.
Thank you very much. This is important part of the synagogue for people who physically purify themselves. I would like Rabbi Zalman to explain the detailed version.
Yeah, thank you. So this is called a mikveh. A mikveh is one of the most important structures of a Jewish community. And Hanif, as you said correctly, the mikveh's role is for physical purification or spiritual purification of the body. So when we immerse our body inside of the water, it's considered to be a purification process. Now, this water here is tap water. However, there is another pit underneath this, and that is filled with rainwater. And the rainwater has, because it's pure, it's not. It comes off the slanted roof, and it's not touched. It's not touched by human hand, and it's kind of straight the rain that comes down from heaven, and that has a power to purify us. Now, the mikveh is used in several ways. It's mainly used by women after having had a period, and in Judaism, life is considered to be pure, and death is considered to make us impure. So when someone dies, after we bury someone, we wash our hands because we've been in contact with death. Similarly, it's explained that the loss of a potential life is also considered like a small form of death. So when a woman's body has finished with that period, 7 days later, a woman will immerse herself in the mikveh, and then she's considered physically pure. And then she will have relations with her husband again after having been in the mikveh. The mikveh is also used by men before prayer. Some men will come in every day, some only before very special holy days, like the Day of Forgiveness, Yom Kippur, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. Sorry, I'll read that a bit. Like Yom Kippur, which is a day of fasting and a day of forgiveness. Also, when people convert to Judaism from other faiths or other backgrounds, part of the process of becoming into the community is also to immerse in a mikveh. Yes.
So the female, as you said, they can't enter without purifying.
Well, this is No, the women are allowed to enter the house of worship. However, the marriage cycle in Judaism is such that when a woman is in her period, then she does not have relations with her husband. And after she's immersed in the mikveh and she's spiritually purified, then she can be with her husband.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is end of this episode, first episode of religion in Australia, Judaism. We explained how the place of worship, how the rabbis talk about their purification, their worship, the instrument they use for during the worship, and their purification, etc. So until next episode, we will go to another place of worship and another religion. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.